find those mosquitoes out. This sucks. Hey guys, we are at a little park that's near our apartment, and we've actually come and we got a couple of bentos, and I was going to show you what was in my bento, and maybe you will get lucky and Katie will show you what's in her bento. I'm not sure.
I don't know what some of the things are that are in my bento.
Her bento looks a little scary. So we found this little gazebo and we're hanging out in this gazebo. And after we talk about our food, then we're going to eat our food, and you're probably not going to get to watch that part. But after that, we're going to do like a short Q&A session. I asked on Twitter, Patreon, and Facebook recently for people to give us some questions that maybe they were interested in having us answer. So we got a few of those questions, and we thought we would answer some of those. So that's the plot of this. I've built the table of contents now. So we can move into the first chapter, which is my amazing looking bento. And I got like a shrimp tendon type of bento. So there is shrimp tempura, and it looks like some vegetables as well. I'm not sure. I don't think we have any ika in here. There's no squid, which is good news for me.
That's disappointing for me.
So we went to this little bento shop, and there's lots of these around. So like sometimes they're chains, and you can get it's like Japanese fast food almost. Like it's Japanese food, but like they put it in a little plastic box. It's like about $4 or $5, and then you have like a lunch or whatever. So these are really common, and this is one we've never been to before. Do you remember the name? It was something weird.
Kitchen Origin. Yeah, something like that.
Origin. So in here there is, of course, shrimp, and maybe this is pima.
Or okra. Could go either way.
Yeah, maybe. So maybe a green pepper of some sort. And this looks like it is a jumble of mushrooms. Nasu. Yeah, so this is eggplant. And this looks like another piece of eggplant. This is a little piece of egg that they have made. And this looks like shoga. Yeah, so ginger. Like what you would get at a sushi joint or something. So I've never had this place's food before. So let's give it a go. For $4, it's actually really good. The sauce that they put on it is the same type of sauce that they usually use in this type of dish, but their sauce is like rich and full in like a really good way. Wow, that's not bad. Let's find out if this is okra or green pepper. Pepper. It's a little spicy.
Good.
It's got some kick. Yeah. Hey, this is good. Maybe I should just eat the whole thing right now, and you can just hang out.
I'll just sit here.
Yeah. This is good. All right. So I will go ahead and seal him back up to keep the heat in, and we can check out what you got.
Eric says it's scary. It's not really a little scary. It's not scary to me at all. Dang it! I knew!
What?
Okay.
What's wrong?
So I ended up getting an extra side of this. I don't know what it's called, but I want to make it at home. And I thought, I don't know if it's in the bento, so I'll just get another side of it. Because at this restaurant, you can buy stuff by the 100 grams. So I got 100 grams of this on top of these grams of this.
And they just put it in the same box.
No. It's in a different dish. That's why I got extra.
That's why you're disappointed. There's more of it.
Yeah, I got more, so maybe we won't eat that. I don't know. Pickles, salmon. This is gobo or bamboo roots that have been marinated in sauce. I also got egg, cognac, that they cut like squid.
You still bummed about the cognac?
Just some stewed vegetables and rice. Something very simple, but scary apparently.
Well, I mean, I did, when I looked in here, I saw like just like a glance of like this area and over here, and I was like, that's a little dank looking.
I'm not gonna taste it because I can tell you right now, it's just gonna be very like generically Japan, and that's kind of why I got it, just because then you can tell whether that shop is good or not. And just hearing Eric say that his was good, I'm kind of thinking that mine's going to be good as well. So won't bore you with the taste test. Just the luxuriousness of the view is enough.
So, how was your lunch?
Dinner?
Yeah, what's your lunch and a dinner together?
I don't know.
Dinner?
Supper?
Supper?
Supper.
Supper. What's happening with that?
I don't know, but it was good. The fish was a bit salty. The sides were good, but they're always really good. It's like those places are like the old lady, like the grandma of Japan, making you the side dishes that are amazing. Like it's like greens in the South. That's what's happening.
So we moved because 2 reasons. 1, the gazebo was a little dark, and 2, because there was like a million mosquitoes at the gazebo and they were chewing us up. So we moved and the mosquitoes just followed us, but at least the light is better.
Yeah, true.
So we've got some questions here, and I've got them on my tablet. So I'm going to dictate the questions, and then we're going to see about the answers. We have not really talked about this very much, like the answers to the questions. So,
We just decided, okay, yeah, that question, but we didn't really talk it out at all.
So yeah,
This
is gonna
could
be
start some fights.
Yeah. So the first question is maybe something that we have addressed in the past, but something that I think every time you ask me, I would have a different answer. So I think it's a pretty decent question. And the question is, what is the strangest situation you have been in during your trips? And I will let you answer, and then I will come up with whatever's just pops.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, strange is a word that I feel like, yeah, there's definitely like a level of it, but I also think that maybe there's just so much variety in what is strange for what reason. But the one that sticks out to me is when we were in Egypt, we went to the tomb, some sort of king and queen area. The Valley of the
Kings and Queens.
And we went there, and when we got off of like the transportation that you take there, you then take another transportation around the area, and the taxi guys were basically just trying to separate me and Eric, like trying to get me into one taxi and him into another taxi, and where my taxi was going, I did not want to go.
Yeah.
And Eric basically flipped out and just started yelling at them. And so it wasn't only strange in the fact that they were splitting us up, it was also strange in like Eric's demeanor, because I don't ever see Eric upset or like stern like that.
They were physically separating us. Like they were physically touching her and like putting her into a different taxi. I'm like, no, you have to go in this other taxi. And I remember I got angry, and because you're in Egypt, like, it's a weird thing to say, but I basically told him she's mine, and he immediately, when I said that, like totally stopped. Like I had to like be like, I have ownership over her, which is like totally not how I think about our relationship, obviously. But
if
like,
anyone owns anyone, I own him.
Absolutely. So it was a really weird scenario. It was really weird. I'm not really happy. It's not a happy thought in my head thinking about. It is very strange. It's a good answer, but like when I think about that moment, I'm not really that proud about. I don't know.
I'm proud. I think he did the right thing.
I don't know.
And what's your strange?
My strange thing, I was thinking about, we were in India, and we were on a train, and we got tickets for like the general train car, and it's like ridiculous. Like people are like hanging out of the windows. Like you've seen pictures of Indian trains and people are on top. This is like what it was. It was like in Japan, people get crammed in and everybody stands very like nicely and stuff, but this was like people on people. Like it was insane. So we got stuffed into this area, and then through a long sequence of events, the guy, like the train master or whatever, ended up sitting with us. He kicked some other Indian people out of their seats in like a nicer car that you have to pay more for, and then he sat there and just tried to make us give him money, and it wasn't much money, it was a couple dollars, and we just like, we're like, no.
In between him, like...
oh yeah, he punched that guy.
He didn't punch him, he slapped him in the face.
Ah, yeah.
The guy was giving him attitude, but there was no reason for any physical altercation to happen at all.
I think,
and he ended up slapping someone in the face, so the whole time we're sitting there saying, like, no, we're not doing this, no, we're not giving you any money, no, I don't have any money, leave me alone. You're wondering if he's gonna slap you in the face.
He was just trying to shake us down to put money in his pocket, and it was not much money, but it's more of the principle. So we were just, we just like stonewalled him. We were like, no, it's not gonna happen. And he got pissed, like you could see it in his face. And instead of like it turning into a bad situation, he just ended up laughing. Like I think he was just like, they've got balls. Like I think that's how it ended. And then he just got up and left. And then we tried to give the seats back to the people that he made get up, and they refused to sit in them. They would not sit in them. And I don't know if it was because of a social thing between us and them, or if they were worried that that guy was going to come back and slap him in the face. Yeah. So those are, I mean, there's a zillion like different weird things, like the wiener dog humping you or whatever. Like there's so many different things that we could like answer with that.
You can't just interject wiener dog humping you
just
and
let
then
it, just
not
let
explain.
it, just let it hang.
You gotta let it hang there like the turd it is. Yeah.
If you're curious, it was in Busan in South Korea. So our video, if you search our channel for that video, that will probably give you the answers. I think we talked about it. I can't imagine we would have skipped that.
Yeah, we wouldn't have skipped that. That story's somewhere in there.
It's
a great story.
A wiener dog humped her, and
no.
she left with a bloody lip.
Yeah, I did.
Next question. Has your neighbor left any so sorry gifts on your mailbox lately? And the answer to that is crackers. Yeah, our noisy neighbor leaves gifts for us if you missed that in a previous video.
2 to 3 times a month.
Yeah, more than that. Recently it's been pretty...
weekly.
Yeah. This is the second box of crackers
Yes.
that he's given us. He's very strange.
We also got a pear, an Asian pear, and an apple, and some other things this month.
I've discussed this with like lots of Japanese friends, and they're all like, what? Like it is a bizarre situation. All right. Do you guys have a food that you don't like when the other eats it? I don't like when my family cooks fish, the smell, says the person asking the question. And that's funny because it's exactly the same with me. If I come home and she has cooked fish or something, saba, what is that, mackerel?
Saba or
Saba
scallops or mackerel, yeah.
Mackerel, yeah.
Or tuna or anything that smells like fish, he can't take it.
Like, it's a problem.
On the flip side, if he chews anything with bubblegum flavor or cider flavor or like a drink.
Japanese cider.
I can't take that. Turns my stomach, man. Ugh.
So maybe we should make like a bubblegum fish thing, like splurge it together.
That just sounds like it's ruining good things for both of us.
It does.
It's not
I don't really
making
like
anything better.
bubblegum flavor. I'm not as opposed to it as you are.
Ugh. No.
At least like when she cooks the fish, like it's like it doesn't
Delicious.
go away. The smell like sticks in the walls, you know. But the bubble gum, like as soon as you swallow it, poof, it's gone. Swallow the bubble. You're not supposed
when
to
you're
swallow
all up in my face, man. So you're like, hey, Katie.
This question, I like this question too. With ramen restaurants growing in popularity in the United States, what other types of Japanese food do you think deserves the same kind of attention? Easy answer is donburi, which is like, means rice with stuff on top. And it might be, like what I had earlier was almost like a donburi. Kind of, it wasn't exactly the same, but like they do the same thing where they have rice and then tempura on top of the rice. And that's the thing. And it's usually cheap, and I think like compared to like a cheeseburger or something, it's actually kind of healthy, but I'm not a scientist, so I'm not sure. And I think that like they could have like a place that has that like
he wants to make a restaurant.
Yeah, like a
I
restaurant.
totally support it. I totally support it. I would be like
you go in
donburi
like Subway style. Like
queen.
You go in and like you choose like, okay, you're gonna get your rice and then like a couple of different things that go on it, and bam, it's $5 or whatever. I think if you did that in the right place, like it would be amazing. The problem would be getting the rice right, because it has to be Japanese rice. Because if it's American rice,
he's a snob.
I'm a snob. Next one. Have you guys thought of getting any pets while you are in Japan?
A lady seriously just walked by and she had a dog, and I sat there going, God, I want a dog. But then Eric asked me if I wanted to deal with the responsibilities, and then I thought about the fact that like it'd be cool to take the dog with you on a trip, and then I was like, no, it wouldn't be.
You're gonna have a motorbike. You're gonna be a motorbike with a dog. You're gonna have to get one of those
little
pocket
helmets.
dogs.
Yeah,
helmet. You're thinking of helmets. I'm thinking, where's the dog gonna sit?
Anywhere. Dogs like balance and stuff.
They do. They're pretty good.
Get a basket, man. It'll be fine.
What kind of dog would you want?
Well, I don't know. It's anything.
I tell
A
you what,
free dog. I'd like a free dog.
I tell
Dog
you-
that doesn't cost a lot of money.
I tell you what kind of dog I'd want. Capybara.
What kind of dog is that? Oh god. Okay.
This is a funny question. I thought this was good. Does packet ramen taste even remotely like anything you would find in Japan? No. So like you're thinking like the chicken top ramen, like the orange packet that you get at Walmart, like 10 for $1 or whatever. Like no, that's not ramen at all.
And on the flip side of that, when like Eric gets sick or we're homesick for something, like we can't find that taste here. And
Yeah.
that taste is like a very like, oh, I don't feel so great, or I just kind of want that teenage thing that I used to make, and you can't really find that flavor here. So it's kind of, they don't translate in any way at all to each other.
Now they do have like that style of thing where you can use hot water and just warm up the noodles and then put
They
the
know
packet
about
in.
cup noodle.
Like the cup noodle thing is a thing, but the flavor is not exactly the same.
Yeah, top ramen ain't here.
Yeah, it's not the same. But yeah. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, onward.
Which country is next on your list? We've been actually looking at flights to the Philippines for this winter.
And I've been trying to ask off from work, and it's kind of been a disaster.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's not a disaster. It's just not going as quickly as you'd like.
yeah, so we'll find out about that. We are expecting to do that sometime in December.
Yeah, hopefully December will be Philippines.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder how we're going to post videos like during the week that we're gone. I haven't figured that one out
The
yet.
week? What are you talking about?
Well, like every week I try to post a video recently every Friday or whatever. So, like I don't know how we're going to do that in the Philippines. That might get tricky.
I didn't slice that sentence up properly,
Uh,
but now I understand.
Next question. This person says, I plan to study next year in a Japanese language school. Good luck with the Japanese language part. It turns out it's really difficult. Get a head start now. I'm still deciding where. As you have been where most of the schools are, and the list he gives is Fukuoka, Osaka, Kyoto, Yokohama, Tokyo, and Hokkaido. Where would you recommend? In which city other than Tokyo would you like to live?
Okay.
Do you need the list again?
No.
Okay.
Tokyo or Yokohama for living and studying. Both are very exciting places to be, but could be distracting, honestly, since you'll be going to school. So maybe that's not so great. For less distraction, but still good enough, Osaka or Hokkaido. The other ones on the list, I wouldn't even consider them.
Really? Kyoto?
Yeah. Nope.
You'd live in Osaka over Kyoto?
Yeah. It's close to Kyoto, so
Yeah.
yeah, I like it a little dirty.
I think Yokohama, honestly, over Tokyo, because it's going to be cheaper to live in. I'm not sure what your situation would be, because you may be living in dorms and it may be included all in the price or whatever. But if it's not, your cost of living will be lower in Yokohama, and Yokohama is really nice.
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say place that I would like to live other than Tokyo would be Yokohama, but I mean at this point I might as well go farther than that.
Here's the thing, though. I think if I was going to go to school for a language thing, out of this list, I would choose Fukuoka, because the people in Kyushu are going to be more likely to just come up and chat with you. And if
Friendly.
you're looking to work on your language skills with lots of different people, Kyushu is the place to do it.
That's a
In
really good point.
Tokyo, in the whole Kanto area, people just, it's not that they're rude or anything, because they aren't. They're super nice, but they're not going to strike up friendly banter with you. It just doesn't happen. So in that respect, and I think Fukuoka is a nice city, and I enjoyed it. And yeah, I think that I would probably, knowing what I know now, choose Fukuoka. I think for a language, for that very specific purpose.
For that very specific purpose,
Yeah.
you are totally right, but it was last on my list.
Yeah, Hokkaido. I think if you're into really
Nature.
cold, and then if you're gonna be there in the winter, don't do Hokkaido just because it'll be too cold to enjoy. Summertime would be okay. But yeah, I think I would do Fukuoka or Yokohama. Kyoto might be okay too, but you're gonna have a lot of tourists there, and a lot of the people there are gonna be willing to speak English to you, I think. Where I don't think you'd have the same experience in Kyushu. But this is a guess. Anyway, let's see here. Interesting question as well. Have you considered sending some of your videos to production companies or competitions with a view of getting a paid gig making travel documentaries, or would that take the fun out of it?
We have not. I don't think that we'd ever like search out to do that, but if we were approached to do that, I mean, maybe we'd have to look at the circumstances and make sure that the fun is still in it.
Yeah, I think a big problem for me is I am sort of a control freak with the editing, and I don't think that they would edit things differently, and I think I would have a really hard time with that. And
yeah, they'd probably tell me I shouldn't talk about half the things I talk about.
yeah, and I just can't see somebody on a corporate level being willing to deal with some of the things that we say sometimes. You know what I mean? And I don't want to have to think about that.
Yeah.
So like we've been doing the Patreon thing, and that's to me a much better system because it leaves us completely free. I don't want to say like artistic freedom, because I don't know if vlogging is artistic like expression, but it like if the people who are enjoying what you're doing are helping you fund it, then you kind of just have freedom to keep doing whatever it is you want to do, and you don't have to think like, are the corporate overlords going to be upset if I use this certain 4-letter word or whatever.
Well, we do have to worry about our corporate overlords, which is YouTube.
Yeah, we do
And music.
have to think about. Yeah,
so we do in a way have to think about that, and that does suck the fun out of it.
It does suck the fun out of it. Like we want to shoot in certain places, and we can't because if the music gets flagged by YouTube, like if there's like a song playing in the background and YouTube flags it, and then like they can do a multitude of things, but at the worst they could just like ban our channel, or they could limit the number of videos we can upload. They can do all sorts of crazy stuff. So we're constantly paranoid. Yeah. So I don't need more corporate overlords at this point. So that's kind of my answer. This is kind of a related question actually. Have YouTube and Patreon changed the way you guys travel and make movies? These kids are really noisy, I'm sorry about that. So YouTube and Patreon changed the way we do things? Yes, absolutely.
It's changed how we post things, how we think about things. It's changed.
It's given this year, the Patreon thing, we've been doing the Patreon thing for about a year now, and it has given us the opportunity to shoot a lot of videos. I don't think we would have done. We would not have done Fukuoka. We probably would have gone to Hokkaido personally because we really wanted to.
Yeah, that would have happened.
But we wouldn't have had the means to go to Fukuoka. We wouldn't have had the means to.
Nagano.
Nagano and Matsumoto, Nagoya and
Yeah.
Nagano. Both of those were because of that. So yeah, it's totally actually helped things in a very, very positive way.
Totally.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I don't think that YouTube exactly has changed a whole lot. Like, we shot the videos for YouTube originally, and we keep shooting them for YouTube. I don't know if that's really affected anything much, but yeah, the Patreon thing has definitely changed the way it's gone. That's really exciting. It's fun.
Totally exciting.
How do you keep from getting food sick when traveling? Well,
if you've seen Myanmar, we don't.
The thing is sometimes we almost die. Well, one of us does. People actually ask me about that a lot. They're like, wow, Eric always seems to get sick. And it does kind of seem like that, I think, but when you really look at how much traveling we've done, it's quite infrequent. I mean, we've been sick like maybe 4 or 5 times, and we've been to 20 some countries over like a span of like 3 years total of travel time.
But it is always you, thank goodness.
You got sick in Thailand and India. Everybody gets sick in India, though. It's not really fair. At least you didn't get slapped in the face.
I did not get slapped in the face.
Could have been worse.
Yeah.
So the real answer is people don't actually get sick that often when they travel. It's not like a chronic problem. I think a lot of people think like they're gonna anytime you go to another country, you're gonna get an upset stomach, but it seems to be, maybe we're just lucky or whatever, but it doesn't seem to be that bad. But when we do get sick, Myanmar was hardcore, man.
Yeah,
it was hardcore. Favorite video you've made?
All of them?
The thing is for me, I don't think of the videos as videos. I remember them as experiences. So like when I'm asked like what's your favorite video, it's more like what place did you enjoy going?
And I have a very limited memory. Where I am sitting here going,
where have I been?
Where have I been?
Well, I'll tell you my go-to answer for this actually though. is
If you say what I think you're gonna say, it'd be very funny.
the Yurakera Festival.
Oh yeah, that was really great, but
So
that was not.
the mascot festival that I took her to, she didn't know about, and it's only because that opening sequence where we're
I'm just
walking through,
uncontrollably laughing
she's
and crying.
She's crying. She's laughing so hard. I love that scene. It's so funny.
That was really good.
The snow festival stuff sticks out too.
Yeah, that was what I had in my mind.
What-
I thought you were gonna say the one with the chickens in the basket.
Oh, the chickens in the basket in Laos. That was
Yeah,
hilarious too.
Yeah.
I mean, the Myanmar trip was really difficult, but that arc of like excitement that took place
Of death.
of where I was like, getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and then like yada yada yada, I lived. I think that works as a really good story, but I wouldn't say that I would shoot it again. Once was enough.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's see, are there more? Okay, yeah. Have you experienced earthquakes in Japan? Timely question, actually.
Yeah, just 2 nights ago at around 5:30 in the morning, there was quite a rumble, and we're both just out of it, completely out of it, because we're not even coherent. And it's just me going, should we get under the table?
And then I was like, nah.
I know that there's this rule that you get underneath stuff, and I love to do that. We have earthquakes at work, and I'm like the only one who gets underneath my desk.
Are you serious?
Yes, and I think it's so much fun. It's like I have a small, like, protective fort. Yeah, that's me at work.
This is a good question. What happened to the Swedes, Tommy and Emma? So the first 2 years that we lived in Japan, one of Katie's coworkers was a Swedish girl, Swedish lady, Swedish woman. What's the right word?
Emma's a woman.
Swedish woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Swedish woman named Emma, and her husband Tommy, whom we both became quite good friends with, and they have actually since moved back to Sweden. And they are just working
going to
in
school,
Sweden.
they're
going to
working,
school, they're
and
working.
they had a baby.
They had a baby. Yeah. Gotta have a baby.
And they did.
They did. They had a baby.
Yeah.
What's the baby? Emil?
Emil.
Emil?
Emil?
How do you say it in
I don't know.
Swedish?
I don't know in Swedish.
Yeah.
I know in Kyde-ish.
What is it?
Emil.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so they actually came this past Christmas and spent a few days with us in Tokyo. They were visiting Tommy's parents who still live in Japan, and they had come to Tokyo as well, hung out with us, and it was really cool to see them.
Yeah,
And
things are going really well with
I had this really good idea for like, because the baby in Japan has got blue eyes and blonde hair, and it's like super cute and sticks
All the
out.
Japanese girls were
All
like,
the Japanese girls are like, whoa! Like you'd walk by with this baby, and they're just like, oh my god, look at that baby! Because I mean, he's amazingly gorgeous.
what kind of dog is that?
What kind of dog is that? He's a really, what's the right word? Pretty? Is pretty the right word for baby?
Yes.
Stunning? Striking.
All of those.
Striking baby.
All of those.
Yeah. So I wanted to open like a baby petting service. Like, charge like 500 yen and you can like pet the baby for like 3 minutes or something. But it didn't work out. I don't know, maybe Emma's not down with it.
Emma was not
I think
happy
Tommy
about
was
that.
okay with it though.
Tommy, you could talk Tommy into pretty much anything.
So, hey, that's actually that's it. That's the last question. There's
Well,
no more.
on the note of some beautiful Swedes.
This is
Striking Swedes.
this was fun. So I think maybe in the future because the problem is sometimes we don't have any ideas for videos, or we don't have time to properly go on an adventure and shoot a video, but we want to keep like making videos kind of frequently. So maybe we'll try to do this more. Maybe next month we'll do another one or something. I don't know. Maybe we can find a place with less mosquitoes.
Yeah, more mosquitoes, please.
More.
No.
Let's go.
Hey everyone, we have a Patreon page and we'd really like for you to check it out. It'll allow you to contribute to us and make these crazy adventures we've been going on continue and get even better. So we'd really love for you to follow the link and learn more about Patreon and us. Go for it. Let's adventure.